Well. I don't even have any words at this point because, as you may know, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 finally came out. People were expecting this movie to be great because, well, I mean, the first one wasn't good because it kind of sucked. Okay, let's be real. Let's be real here, people. The first movie sucked. Okay, it was good for the fans. Okay, the people who actually enjoyed Five Nights at Freddy's and the lore and everything, they were gonna love the movie, and they did. Yes. Would I say the same about the second? Uh, eh. I've seen a lot of people being torn about what to say about the movie and how to review it. Because on one hand, it's still Five Nights at Freddy's to an extent. However, on the other hand, it's just a big pile of shit, and that has nothing to do with the games because of course it doesn't. But rather the whole movie itself being set up in such a stupid and dumb way that I feel like I wasted 2 hours of my life for literally nothing. Like, I thought that maybe they would learn from the first movie's mistakes and actually try and up themselves this time around. But actually, no, that just doesn't happen whatsoever because the fucking directors at the studio just decided to make the dumbest fucking cash grab possible ever. Well, why is that? Let me explain to you, literally point by point. I'm not gonna say any spoilers. I'm gonna be vague, okay? I'm gonna be vague just in case you might wanna see the movie. However, I don't think that it's worth it. So where do I start? As you know, this is supposed to be a sequel to the first movie. A movie that was already bad in itself. And this movie didn't really fix anything from the first movie because this movie just kept on adding more to the pile of shit that you didn't know was happening and you didn't know why was happening. Because, yeah, from the first movie, we get the idea of the animatronics, why it happened, William Afton and whatnot. I do know the lore somewhat, but I'm just gonna say it like this because, in my opinion, a movie is good, be it an adaptation or not. A movie is good, especially an adaptation, if you can go into the movie theater and you don't know anything about the source material, yet you will enjoy the movie and you will understand the movie. That's when it's good. The first movie, you can kind of understand what's happening, okay? Like, okay, there is a plot line that you can follow, okay? Mostly. You don't need to play the games, you don't need to know the lore. In the second movie, however, you pretty much have to know it because if you don't know it, then the movie doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I understand the fact that they are trying to create like two separate universes, I guess, because the movie universes are much more different than the ones we have in the games. However, this just creates a problem for Scott himself because this time around he was the sole screenwriter for the movie. How did that happen? How did that happen and why did it happen? The movie sucked beyond measures. I have seen better screenwriting and better acting in porn, and I would know it because I just finished watching the porn version of Scooby Doo. The whole 2 hours, people, the whole 2 hours, and I was on the edge of my seat, knowing that something is gonna happen. This movie, nothing. I didn't know anything was gonna happen. The movie was not scary whatsoever, which was, kind of supposed to be the point of it, especially since it's a horror movie. I know that it's supposed to be like a horror movie for children and kind of bringing children into the horror genre. However, it fails because the only the only thing this movie, I would say, gets right but doesn't even do that. The only thing this movie does is put a ton of jump scares into your fucking face and nothing else. How can you rely only on jump scares without having the effect of the games, because inside the games it's not just about jump scares. It's scary. You are literally shaking because you don't know when Bonnie or anyone is gonna come in to the fucking room, and the moment you see them running, you're fucking scared. And you know it's gonna come, you know a jump scare is gonna come, but that's not the scary part. The scary part is knowing that you don't know when it's gonna happen. And in this movie, the everything was just set up in such an obvious way that I honestly feel like anyone above the age of 14 would realize that this movie kind of sucks. And it's sad because we waited 2 years for this, and I genuinely thought that this movie would pick up the pace, so to speak, from the first one. It's just sad because the people working on this movie were, beside the director and Scott himself, everyone else did a good job. I mean, Hutcherson was back, Matthew Lillard as well, which, by the way, yet again, the same way the first movie was advertised, Matthew Lillard was there, talking about how he's this big bad wolf looking motherfucker, and how the whole movie is basically trying to tell the story of how he is the one behind all the murders. In this movie, just like in the first one, we basically see Matthew Lillard's character, aka William Afton, for a collective of 10 minutes out of the 1 hour and 44-minute runtime. How on earth can you waste someone like him on this movie? He would have done an amazing job. Don't get me wrong. He the scenes he was in, they were good. However, being in only 10 minutes of the movie kind of makes you question about whether or not they were just trying to advertise the whole thing in a way that people will get excited for basically nothing. Also, the whole plotline with Abby kind of sucks. We kind of see her being an outcast in school. Everyone is bullying her, and she goes to the animatronics, which, by the way, had a huge fucking plot hole in my opinion, because so Josh, Mike, I meant Josh Hutcherson. Okay, Mike and Abby actually went back to the location of the first film and the first game. And as you know, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 takes place at another location. Now, in the game's lore, again, I know they're supposed to be different universes, but this still sucks. In the original games, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 was canonically before the first game. This time around, it's still the same, but it's kind of not established until like the second half of the film. Because then again, it's the chronology on the movie. It does not go like this. It goes like this. And then goes like this. Which I really hated. So the biggest plot hole that I didn't like was after they went to the first place, they looked around for stuff. They found a Freddy plush. I like that moment. And Mike just presses the Freddy plush and it goes, hur, hur, hur. Well, that was good. But they take like a little board that has Freddy on it, and it talks to Abby. The animatronics talk to Abby through that board. Okay, that's fine. I would have been fine with that plot. Except the fact that Abby knew to go to the second location off of the fucking board only. All the animatronics told her was that they need her and that they miss her. Please tell me how on earth did Abby know that she was supposed to go to another location rather than the first one? There's no explanation for this, by the way. And it's not even like they are close to one another. No, the second location is deep in the fucking woods somewhere. It's already rotting and everything is going downhill there. But Abby somehow knew to go there. Okay, that is fine. Okay. Because, I would say that she knew because there were another group of children who would go there. Not would, but they actually did go there. And we see our villain, the villain of the movie, 2 times collectively, 2 times people, and no, it's not William Afton, but we see it 2 times. 2 times, one is like 20 minutes into the movie, and the other one is at the very, very end, the last 5 minutes. Amazing screenwriting, yet again. And something I didn't like is that the puppet's motives were just absolutely fucked all over the place, because in the game, the puppet is not necessarily evil, you know. The puppet doesn't want to hurt children. The puppet doesn't like adults. That's one thing, okay. But definitely doesn't hurt children. And in this movie, the children are just being attacked by the puppet. Why? You don't know. It's just happening. It's just fucking happening. Oh my god. You know, there were some nice moments, like some. The fan service in the movie is what was good, basically. I mean, that's the whole point of the movie. They are making a movie about a game that a lot of people like, okay? One thing I liked was the little Easter eggs. Also, like there was a sequence where Mike's character basically played FNAF 2 inside the movie. For like 20 minutes, he was sitting at his desk, you know, managing all the animatronics, putting on the Freddy mask, and this would have been a good. This was a good sequence, okay, because it actually kind of made sense. It felt like it made sense, and there was a moment where before he flashed his light on the wall, you could have seen Shadow Bunny there. Shadow Bunny was actually there. I liked that Easter egg. That was a nice Easter egg. But this is when, you know, the movie is kind of fucked up, when the only thing I remember are the stupid Easter eggs, the fucking plush that did the meme sound effect, and the animatronics. They look good. Okay, the animatronics look good, but then again, they are wasted yet again because of the entire runtime. We barely see them do anything, really. Which sucks because the people at Jim Henson's, what the fuck is it called? Jim Henson's Creature Shop did such an amazing job at creating them, and they are just not being used. But when they are used, they are used in such a goofy way, if I would say, that it just, I don't know, man. I I can the worst part is still the fact that the movie is trying to be original in a way that is just not interesting. You know, be original. Don't be like the game 101. Okay, I don't want that because I already know the story there, and I want to see it in a movie way, I guess, so to speak. But make it interesting at least, or if you change it up, then make it make sense. Oh my god, and the whole thing felt like it was cut together by like a 10-year-old. Like, genuinely, we were jumping from one place to another in cuts that made no sense. Characters were tied together in such a way that also made no sense. I don't know who decided. I don't know what came over Scott. At this point, I'm just pretty much convinced that the the games actually weren't written by him, but rather the community. And what he did was take his wallet or write papers on something, throw it to the wall, and whatever stuck, he went with it. Which sucks because his incompetence at writing pretty much shows in this movie. Writing dialogue, scenes, anything just fucking sucks. Also, the ending was horrible as well. Like, we literally end on a cliffhanger, and they steal image. God, that looks so bad. Especially Josh's character. Like, Mike just decided to just get angry at Vanessa at the end after everything went down. Oh yeah, I have to talk about the ending. I don't care. I don't fucking care about spoilers. It's just so horrible. So we see the main villain of the movie at the end for like 5 minutes. Then all the toy animatronics just basically gang up at Josh's house. I keep saying Josh, but I'm gonna say Mike's house. And before that, Mike actually went to the original place, the first one's place, and asked the children to help him against the animatronics because they kind of went wild. And they went outside the building, by the way. And after a few minutes, you know, you would feel like they are in this vice and they can't really escape. However, the original animatronics come in and just defeat the toy animatronics in one hit. Every single one of them one hit. Oh yeah, they keep using the same joke of the animatronics wanting to see what's inside the person's head, meaning they just want to crush it or rip it off. Very original, guys. Very original. And so there's basically this Avenger level of collaboration at the end. We see both variants of the first two games animatronics. The originals defeat the toy ones, and the villain is defeated as well. Who, by the way, did basically nothing on movie. Amazing. Yet again. And so the puppet just decides to possess Vanessa, I guess, at the end. Because why the fuck wouldn't he? I mean, she. Fuck. Anyway, Vision under the puppet. My bad. And then we just end up with a possessed Vanessa at the end. Josh gets mad at her for no fucking reason whatsoever, as if the whole thing is her fault, which, by the way, is not. She had nothing to do with it. And then just credits. The credits just roll. This sucks, man. It's sad because the FNAF fans will love it. You know why they will love it? Because they are happy that their favorite game is getting made into a movie. I'm not hating on any of y'all. Genuinely, it's not the fans' fault. If you like the movie, you like the movie. It's just shit. From a standpoint of a person who tries not to get locked down into simply seeing only the game in the movie, and that, oh my god, this is my favorite franchise being made into a movie, holy shit, I'm gonna come. Outside of that, the movie sucked. Yeah, the movie sucked. And you know what? The 3 out of 10, this is one of the first times when I agree with IGN's review of the game, and the 3 out of 10 rating is justified. And the Rotten Tomatoes 17% is also justified. I would agree with that. Do yourself a favor and don't go watch this movie unless you really, really want to. It's fine if you don't expect anything good from the movie. Genuinely, if you're gonna sit down and you're gonna watch the movie as someone who has absolutely what's the word? No expectations whatsoever, and you're fine with being let down or disappointed after watching something like this, and you would just come out, shrug your shoulders, and go like, yeah, it was bad, but at least we watched it. Go for it, man. Go for it. It's your money, not mine. You can do whatever you want. I'm just a random guy from the internet. Well, anyway, thank you for watching my review of this amalgamation of a movie, because that's what I can call it. Also, something I forgot to say, they will probably make a third one. They will definitely make a third one. It doesn't matter how the movie does, they are already working on it, I am 100% sure. So, there you go. Hopefully, that one will be better. Anyway, subscribe if you like the video. Like it if you liked it, but definitely subscribe if you want to see more of this stupid bald fellow, making fun of your favorite movies or video games, because I will. Anyway, goodbye and have a nice evening.